Hello, everybody. This is Trent Clark. Welcome to the Winners Find a Way show. I am your host. I am a serial entrepreneur and international speaker. I am the CEO of Athletic Influencer Marketing and founder of Leadershipity. And most people know me because I coached professional baseball for 13 years in 3 World Series. So thank you for being here. So excited. Today we are talking about athletes and NIL. And this thing has taken a whole new journey and it's pretty awesome. My two passions are athletics and entrepreneurship. Like 100%. These are the two things I love the most is talking business and then talking about sports and how those teams shape, which is why I speak all over the world on teams and how to make great teams, right? And how we lead. Most people don't go to university for leadership or coaching, which is why Leadershipity exists. Now we have to have these organizations where we need to lead and coach, and it's challenging, right? So we do a lot of education around that. A lot of people have come to me for years saying, Trent, you're a business person. Why don't you become an agent? I am not a lawyer by trade. I've done a lot of work in the business. So I teamed up with a lawyer, David Gregory, who's now licensed NFL agent. And we've created a company called Athletic Influencer Marketing, AIM. So excited about this NIL business because as an athlete and a former two-sport Division I athlete, I was just thrilled to hear that now you can start making business. The value of actually learning brand management, marketing, how I do this, it is work. I mean, people, probably superstars, are not going to have to work very hard at NIL. There's a few, I'd say 150 kids in college that probably are not going to have to work very hard at NIL to make money. For the 98% of college athletes who do not go pro in something, there's opportunity. I mean, tons of opportunity. And as an entrepreneur, like if you've ever had a job and you've worked around high school and this and that, this is a real opportunity. So you high school athletes, like please listen up because you are going to want to get in an NIL community like ours where you can get educated so that when you go to college, you can begin to make money. Now, even 13 states right now in the US, you can make money in high school with NIL, which NIL is nothing more than name, image, and likeness. And guess what, America? Not new. It's been around forever, right? We have done cover contracts, modeling contracts. You think about name, image, and likeness and how it's been used on a Wheaties box or anything else. It's been around since like the beginning of marketing. The only new thing about name, image, likeness is that college athletes are eligible now to utilize their own to make money. So that's the only thing that's new here. I laugh because I think people get all excited. Hey, it's the wild, wild west out here. It's not the wild, wild west at all. This thing has a lot of boundaries around it. The NCAA has created some rules. There is definitely going to be some growing pains in this, without a doubt, like any new business venture and any new development. That's not uncommon. But there are guidelines in, and there are a lot more guidelines right now for a college athlete than some high school influencer who can do anything and just create a brand of whatever he or she is doing in the market. So you see a lot of social influencers now, and there are no boundaries for a 15-year-old in that space, and it's a little bit dangerous in my opinion. But we'll come back to that. So excited for the athletes because as we leave that top 150, or even I'll dare say like 10,000, right? The top 10,000 athletes. There are 480,000 athletes at college levels right now. So if you leave that, there is a opportunity for any athlete, any sport, at any level to make up to $1,000 or more per month. I couldn't make that when I was a college athlete. Two sports. I mean, for me to work a day on the weekend was a ton. Got paid a little money, got paid a little walking around cash, but that was hard. And some areas actually used to restrict that if you were on a full ride scholarship, you were not allowed to work or have another income in the school season, in the school year, because you were under scholarship and you were a full-time student. So that's changed, and so that's really great. Very important for kids to understand. This is going to be important to be legal and staying in the NIL. There's a lot of legal boundaries, which is important, and that's state mandated. And the first thing for any athlete in NIL is to form a company, form an LLC, form a brand that you are going to put a deal, an agreement under. That is so important. So get started there. I mean, in Michigan, we can go online and file an LLC, which I did last week for my wife in under 10 minutes for $50. For $50. Like, this is not challenging stuff. Now, running and owning that, managing it, there's some work in there. I don't want to discount that. You have to do an annual every year to report that. That's also reported online. I think in Michigan, we pay $25 to file our annual report. It does take another 5 minutes online to do that. So, in an age of online, these kids have got it figured out. The other thing you do is you have to file for a federal EIN number so you can claim on your taxes. That's an easy also document done online in under 10 minutes so that you have an EIN number. So, the three big rules of compliance is, when you talk about the NIL at college, you cannot take inducements to play for a team. So someone offers you an NIL deal, say, oh, we'll give you $100,000 in NIL, come pay for our team. That's an inducement that is going to cause issues. $100,000 to transfer to our school, very dangerous ground. The NCAA is not going to look past that on violations. There's no pay for performance incentives. So you can't do an NIL deal that says, hey, if I score, 20 points in the basketball game tonight, then I get, $100 per point. You cannot do that. It cannot be directly performance related. Now, incentives and ambassador programs, I've seen ambassador programs that do a lot of discounts saying it's a percentage off for every point Trent scores tonight in the game. So now all of a sudden, someone can go to Subway and use my code and they can get 20% off tonight because I had 20 points. So big deal. They can use that for that side. So there must be, the third thing is there must be an exchange of value. So I do something for that brand in order for me to get something back. So important. And then, of course, each now state is mandating how the NIL is going to work. So when you get into university, check your local state law. That's going to be very important. And most colleges now have a compliance director where you can go in, see them. You register every offer that you've been made in NIL that you're going to agree to, and you register that in, and they look at it, agree that deal before. So this is where we're catching things that are a little bit wacky, right? So if someone offered me $2 million to make one social media post to my 10,000 influencers, that is probably not the going rate. So that's going to send red flags up on that compliance. So just be very aware of the NCAA and the school regulations and limits. And you have a compliance officer at your university to help you. If you are still in high school, you probably will not have that yet. So you may want to get counsel or go to the universities local or the ones you're looking at and talk to them before you go play and do anything. The biggest question I get right now about NIL is where do I start? How do I start? Well, first of all, start simple, start small, and start like now. Like, take action. And the first action is develop what your message is going to be. Where are your audience? What do you want to talk about? What are you passionate about? Do you like certain brands that you'd like to be in agreement? Can you agree with their values? But there's a lot of low-hanging fruit for athletes for two reasons. One is that engagement in social media for athletes is very high. So the average influencer has like 3 to 5% engagement in their posts. You have 100,000 followers for the average influencer and are just an influencer. And so the average would be 3 to 5,000 reach and interactions inside posts. So with athletes, it's 15%. So that is, nearly average around, 14 to 16. So you're talking about, let's just say 15%. So on 100,000, you get 15,000, right? 5x that 3,000. And so you start thinking, whoa, so does that mean I only need 20,000 followers to get the 3,000? Yeah, so that's a significant less amount. Now, the second thing is, where is your market at? Like, when it comes to athletics, it's who knows you. And a lot of people know you from your amateur career. They know you in your hometown. You're a kid who's worked hard, who's been probably highlighted in your local papers, and you were all city, all state, all conference, all those things. And so people in your region know you. So that's a great way to look for opportunities back where people know you and they're following you, because you probably have a following that's around where you grew up. The second one is the school, which is alumni and boosters are massive. They want to support the university's athletes. So these are three areas really that are very low hanging fruit for an athlete to get involved. So, simply start building up a message of what you want to speak about, where your angle is going to be, what you're passionate about. And if you're in fitness, if you're into, crocheting, it doesn't matter. Like, where are your hobbies? Where are some of the things you do? And look at some of your insights and your social and your influence. Where are people following you from? What's the percentage of males to females? What's their geography? Why are people coming along and entertained by what you offered on social? Um, and the biggest thing that people are going to look at is that you're pretty regular on social posting, that you're public about what you're posting. So that's really important too, as well as I think it's really important right now that not only kids get a good cadence, but it doesn't have to be long. It doesn't have to be extensive. But most people just want to know, like, hey, what's life like for you out there doing all this? You're a student, you're an athlete, you're managing relations in the classroom, you're managing a relationship with your parents, you're managing relationships with maybe a significant, you're managing relationship with your coaches, and there's all these things going on. And the facilities are now just unbelievable at some of the universities. People want to see those, what's offered to you, what you're working at, the people that are having influence in your life, like some of your alternative coaches, like your trainer or your strength coach or your academic advisor, and how they're, those things, how you're shaping who you're becoming and who you really want to be. I mean, those are cool things about what's happening with you. So, keep it local for your deals. Keep it local where people want to support local entrepreneurs, business owners, restaurant owners, people that you're passionate about in fitness or wellness, or you're a donut connoisseur and you want to get involved with a donut and do a donut review every week. Like, get creative about how you can do that. The other thing that's really cool about NIL that I'm saying that's really neat with youth athletes is these youth athletes care about things, and their parents, they've seen their parents give to their philanthropy and things that are going on in their lives. So, from that, they're getting involved in charities and causes, and they're making, headway into how you can give to the local animal shelter. Or we've just had a hurricane. So, people are giving back to the Florida, recovery program. I mean, they got hit very hard. And a lot of athletes are from there. This is their hometown. They're rebuilding. So very key that those athletes get out there and you build that content, certainly around the 3 C's, good content, good conversion, and a good community. Got to build those. That's very important. And then, of course, you got to be very thoughtful about how those look when you post your social. Video probably rules the day more than stills now. So a quick video, and now there's so many good tools for that with Instagram stories and from TikTok, which is so so popular. The video is really pulled out. So most of our athletes post 4 out of 5 are video content. And so love quotes. The 3 big things that followers want: they want education, they want inspiration, and they want entertainment. So, those are 3 things you provide in your posts, and that's going to keep your following really engaged. So, here's the best thing about athletes and entrepreneurs. What a value these athletes are going to come out of university getting from owning their own company, right? They own their own LLC, brand management, marketing, going through these relationship building and doing contract agreements, and what they're going to get from that is such a major hit for all of us employers, who people are going to come now and go, whoa, this kid's got some real skills, in addition to probably maybe one of the most important skills that comes in on every athlete at that top. As a college athlete, it's very challenging to balance work, sport, class, relationships. I mean, there's a lot of time management that has to go into, how do I create value, get a good grade, be good at my sport, make my commitments, and honor those responsibilities and commitments. And that can only be done through high quality time management. And that is probably one of the superpowers of most athletes. And when you see a successful athlete with successful NIL, successful grades, successful relationships of people in their lives that will absolutely go to bat for them with a great list of references, you're talking about an A player for your organization immediately. So, athletes, think about how you want this to look for you in your life. And our company, AIM for NIL, is going to be just there to support you in community and help you get along and move through it. So we just certainly welcome the opportunity to do so. And for those athletes out there, please DM me, get in touch with me. You want to find out more, I'm happy to give you more. And looking forward to this entrepreneurship and athletics merge, and how this thing really shapes out for athletes and the opportunity it creates going forward for the future of these young men and women. It's going to be super exciting to watch, and thrilled to have a front row seat. So for everybody, thank you for joining me on the Winners Find a Way show. Can't wait to see you next time, every Friday, 12:30 p.m. Eastern, 9:30 a.m. Pacific. Join us live, Facebook, LinkedIn, and of course, our YouTube channel. Check us out there, Leadershipity YouTube channel. See you then.